Hey everyone, today we are going to discuss about two very important clause of SQL. One is from clause and second is select clause. What is from clause? By name itself, it suggests like from there we are going to get the data for our data processing. So here in the from clause we specify source, and that source can be table, view, or a query itself, right? In this session, we also see that how we can alias a table name with some meaningful name which can be used into in a query for better utilization. Second is select clause. Clause is the backbone of the SQL. In the select clause, we specify all those fields which are required from that table or that source for the business processing or data processing. In this select class, when we are selecting column, we can apply different functions to achieve the business need or data analytics need to get in the required format. So in nutshell, we can say that all the transformations which we are applying is going to get applied in the select clause itself. Those transformations can be conversion of the all values which are coming into that field into upper or lower. Second, we are doing some substring operations or we are concatenating two fields, etc. In this session, we see how we can define a from clause and how we can alias that table into some meaningful format. We will also see that how we can select all columns from the tables, or we can select some specified columns from the table. How we are going to alias table and column, how this distinct clause, which is very important, is going to be used into a query. Then we see some of the operations on the selected column, how we can apply some SQL functions, and how we can write a case statement in there. So let's see first. Let's see, someone asks you to write a SQL query to get all columns from a row, all columns and all row from a customer table. How you will write that query? So you are going to write like this, like select star. Star is a construct here which is defines that whenever this construct is there, so whatever column and rows are there into the table, that need to be fetched. So you will write select star from table name. So when you execute this query, you will get the result. All the rows and fields which are there into the table, those are being fetched. Let's see second case. Some selected column need to be fetched. When, let's say, someone asks you that I want only customer IDs and customer name from this table, so you can mention those columns and write the query like this: select cust ID, cust name from the table name. Let's run and see the result. Next is, let's say some customer asks that write a SQL query to get all customer IDs and names and make sure that customer ID comes as a cust IDs come as a customer ID and name comes as a customer name. Then here this aliasing comes into the picture. So when we are selecting column, we can give as customer ID. So this is called as aliasing of the columns. Similarly, you can see this after table name also we can give as alias table name like sales. This is going to be give the desired output. Let's see and run this query. As when you run, you can see the results. Now column name in the result is customer ID and customer name, right? Let's see another. Let someone ask you that write a query where you want to distinct customer ID and customer name. So as you can see into this, there are many customers which are being repeated because this is the sales table. So one customer can contribute into the sales in different date. That's why there is duplicacy, right? So here we want distinct customer ID and customer name. So you can use distinct construct here, distinct keyword, and this will solve your purpose. So You will write distinct, select distinct those columns customer ID and customer name from the table. This will give you the desired result. Now let's see another scenario. Someone asks you to write a SQL query to get all distinct customer ID and customer name, and again there is one more condition, that we have to make sure that all the names should into the uppercase of characters. Here you see, then this is the init cap, but you need to convert that into the uppercase. Then you can use the function called upper. These are SQL functions. There are many we will be discussing when we are discussing SQL functions, but you can see how we can use these scalar functions. If you run this, then you will find that all the customer name is now in capital letters. Let's see another scenario. So let's say someone asks you that write a SQL query so that you can get the total sales available into the sales table. In that case, you can use another function which is called sum. So this is called aggregate function. So here we have used scalar functions. Here we are using aggregate functions. We will discuss more about when we are discussing SQL functions. So you can write simple select sum sales unit as total sales and from that table. So you see total number of sales is there now. Another thing is that the combination of aggregate function and distinct clause. If you see here this select count, the requirement is that write a SQL query to get all the distinct customers count. So you can write this like select count distinct customer ID as total customer. So you will get the count of those customers. You can verify this by executing this query. Here you will see there were total 2 customers, right? So you got the count there. So and another thing is that select is without, you can write a SQL query without from clause. This is for constructing data or doing some type of testing on some columns, but this functionality is also provided by SQL, that you can write a query without stating the from clause. If you write this, then this is also going to get executed. You will get this. And you can also apply function, scalar function on the top of these columns, right? So now another thing is that let's say we want to apply case statement, right? How you are going to apply case statement? So we can simply say that case statement is like, let's write a query for this case statement here. Let's say we want to replace this customer name. We got this requirement that there is a requirement that whenever the customer ID is 1234001, then customer name should get updated. Then how you are going to do that? For that you will use this case statement. So how you are going to write this? Select cust ID case when customer ID is 1234001, then let's say we are replacing this customer name as Alok Kumar, else it should be same. So whenever you are writing case statement, make sure that after the else statement you are giving it in that we are saying machine, so that our this conditional statement is now get to end. If you run this query, then this will give you the desired result. Earlier this customer was different, but now we are getting the Alok Kumar. That's all for this session. I hope it get you a good learning of SQL from the basic perspective. Thank you. Thanks everyone.